it's something about that creamy, buttery, super smooth slow motion that just gets me hyped.
Said you needed space.
Slow motion. Everybody gets into their creative zone, one way or the other. But for me, slow motion. You know what I'm saying? You watching a video, one of these fancy transition videos or product videos, and you can individually pick out those moments of slow motion. That's one of my things. I love it. I love to see it. And so, I've spent a lot of time working on it, and I just enjoy content that uses it. Now, let's roll the tape. Let's go into some slow motion.
It's not my fault.
See, the thing about slow motion, especially when you're doing creative work, is that you can use it however you want to use it. It doesn't really have to make sense. If you like the way it looks, slow it down, you can use it. That's where we are with the slow motion. Now, let me tell you exactly how to do it. Okay, so now, there's a couple of different ways you can do slow motion, all right? I'm gonna show you the simplest, easiest one right now. The only thing you really have to consider when you're doing slow motion using DaVinci Resolve is what is your original clip shot at. That way you can make sure you do the correct math whenever you're slowing it down. So you can come right over here. I'm gonna do a right click, then we're gonna go to find in media pool, and here it is right now. Now, when I click on it, I can come over here to my inspector panel and click on metadata. And with metadata chosen, with a camera, okay, well, you can see right here, it says 59.94 frames a second. What that means is that we basically shot it at 60 frames a second, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is to make sure that when I bring it in, it's not already showing me in slow motion. I wanna make sure that in my clip attributes, because I'm working on a 24 frame per second timeline. So I wanna go over to my clip attributes, and I want to make sure that that is the correct frame rate that was actually shot in the field. You see it says 59.94 here, and then over in the inspector panel it says 59.94. The only thing I did to get here was I just did a right click, and then I went to clip attributes. So I can put that, at 24 frames a second, and then when I bring it into my timeline, that's what it's going to be. But right now, because I know I'm going to slow it down at points, I'm going to bring it in at actual 60 frames a second. So now that I've brought that clip in, let's pick a spot. Well, tell you what, we'll do it. The first thing we'll do is we're going to do a right click, and let's go to change clip speed. It's at 100%, right? Let's say we'll make it 40%, and then we'll play it. So let's go back. I'm gonna undo that. Let me let you hear what this sounds like first. Wait a minute. Where we at? Change clip speed. Put that back at 100. Thought I did undo. My bad, y'all. Okay, now here we go. Now this is what it looks like at regular speed. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to do a right click. I'm going to unlink the video from the audio, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do a right click, go to change clip speed, then I'm going to take it down to 40% of its original speed. Go home. Now you can see it's nice and smooth. It looks normal. It's just slow. Okay. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that back. Now, so that's the first way. Okay. That's easy, simple. All you have to do is just reduce it. We know it was shot at 60 frames a second. And in order for us to get it down to 24 frames a second where we can make sure that, you know, it's clear, it's legible, and it's not choppy and jerky, and it looks good to the natural eye for anyone, is if we reduce it down by 40%. You can reduce it down at any percentage, but sometimes you can even reduce it down just to kind of remove some of the camera shake. But it was pretty stable right here. But as long as you don't go below that 40%, you'll be good for this particular clip. Now, if it was shot at 120 frames a second, you could take it all the way down to 20%, because that would give you 24 frames per second on the other side. So now, stay with me. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here now, and I have it back at, we're going to put it back at 100%. Now, this is the other way that you can slow this down. Okay, we're going to do, you can either do Command R if you're on a Mac, or you can also do a right click and you can go to Retime Controls. Okay, which is also, you see the shortcut right here. So we'll go to Retime Controls. Now, this will allow you to pick a spot where you want your speed to change. We're not going to get heavy into speed ramping on this video. I just want to show you that there are multiple ways that you can be able to adjust your speed on your clips. So you can do Command R, and you see here where it says 100%. If you click on that, you can go to change speed. You can drop it down to 50%. Now, it doesn't have an already set number for you to go right to 40, so you have to make an adjustment. Now, here's something that confused me when I first got started, because no one ever said it out loud until later on down the line. But so you see how that says 50%, right? If you want this to be at 40, you see my mouse right here, put it right at the top on the corner, and then begin to pull out. Okay, you see now it says 40. See, it's going down. Okay, but we want to get all the way to 40. Okay, now we're at 40. So as you can see, we slowed it down, all the way down to 40%. We took out 60% of the frames. So that's just how long it would go. But now, what if you don't want the entire clip to be this slow? Here's what you can do. Let's go back to 100%. I just clicked on the arrow right here. We're going to put reset to 100. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to come down to about right there, and then this is where we want it to be slow. Now, if you had music, you would probably want to make it be slow to start on a beat in the music. So let's click on this arrow here, this button. Click on Add Speed Point. Now, let's come over to the place where we want it to stop being slow. Bam, right there. That's good enough. And then we're going to click on that drop down arrow again, and we're going to go Add Speed Point. So now, remember, we can zoom. You see, we got 100, 100, and another 100. Let's change this to 50. All right, I'm go ahead and delete this. We don't even need that. So we've got 100, we've got 50, we've got 100. Go all the way to the beginning. Watch what happens. Boom, slow. There you go, slow. Now, the only thing about this, then let's go back to fast. So now the only thing about this is that when it goes from fast to slow, it's just hard. Boop, you see that? You can see it. Come over here, boop, and you can see it. Boop, you can tell the difference. What we want to do is we want to smoothen that out a little bit. So we're going to do a right click. We're going to go to Retime Curve. Now that we're in Retime Curve, there's a little drop down over here. And sometimes, like if you're not zoomed in far enough, you won't be able to see the little drop down arrow. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are zoomed in. So if you're not zoomed in all the way, you're not tripping, you're just not zoomed out. If you say, man, I can't find the arrow, you're not tripping. Stay with me. All you got to do is zoom in some, okay? Then that arrow will appear. Click on it. Now we're going to take the check mark out of retime frame. We only want to deal with the retime speed. Now, you see this graph right here? Click on it. Here's your speed points. Okay, there's one right there. Right here, you're gonna click right here on this icon. That's gonna smoothen you out between those points. That gives you that curve. You see that? So now it's gonna be a smooth transition instead of a hard drop off. You see this? This is a hard drop off. This right here is a smooth ramp. So this is the basis of your speed ramp. And trust me, there's 4 or 5 different other ways you can do speed ramps, including some pretty complex methods, but we'll get into that. But right now, remember, we just grinding it out right now at this level. You can do, once you are comfortable with these fundamentals, these basics, the other stuff will be just a piece of cake. It'll just be another way to do something. So we're gonna stay right here, okay? So I want you to stay with me. All right, let's click on this one. And we're gonna come over here again. That's an ease in, ease out. Now let's pull that to smoothen it out some more. Let's smoothen this one out some more too. All right, now, so watch this. Ooh, you can't even tell where it started going slow at, could you? Let's check it on this side. Right about here, let's see. You see that? You see how smooth that is? Let's see. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it. That is it. This right here is slow motion all day long. It's slow motion all day long. The only thing this is missing right now is a nice smooth track. So, you know, now how do you get back out of this? Well, you can do a right click. You can go back to retime curve, okay? And you can do Command R on your keyboard. All right. So let's take a look. Look at that. Yeah. Look, if you're anything like me, you probably watch your footage over and over again once you get finished with your edit. So watch. Get ready. Get ready. Okay. So that, you know what? Now, I think it's just time for you to practice. That's pretty much it. You know, this is slow motion. You know, we've shown you several different key, basic, you know, core fundamental effects. So I want you to practice these different techniques that I'm showing you, because this is the core. You know, if you didn't get formal training or formal education in this stuff, this is the core for you to begin to do. There's still a lot to cover. However, I'm gonna take you through step by step. And we're gonna have fun with this thing, because I'm, you know, look, this is my element right here. You know, I love it. So, right now, what I want you to do is I want you to practice. That's where we're at. I just want you to practice. You know, get as many reps with this as you possibly can, because these are the core. When you can master these basic fundamentals, it will not matter where you go and what software you pick up, because you will have the basics. You'll understand keyframing. You know, you'll also know how to be able to do scale in, scale out. You know, you'll be able to come in and do slow motion. You know, there's a lot of different things that you can do using these basic fundamental techniques that we're showing you right now. So have fun with it. You know, become the master of these. Then you can go and do some of these other things. Like I said in the last video, man, I would hate for you to grab a transition pack and don't know fundamentally how it's supposed to work. Because then what if your client wants something that's a tad bit different? Or it's something very simple, but you don't know it because you just don't know it. So, but we're going to get you there. I want you to grab these fundamentals. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to create some masterpieces. Like I said, I don't care if you're a photographer, or if you're a videographer, or if you're a cinematographer, or just a content creator, or you're just somebody who got some photos and videos on your cell phone, and you want to do some things to be able to present them or be able to get them off to someone without having to send a million files. You know, this will be a great way for you to begin to put some presentations together, you know, save you some of that hard drive space. But anyway, look, if this video has brought some added value to you and your content creation, consider subscribing. I'm loving it. Like, I pick up the phone and I go into my YouTube studio because I get a notification. I'm like, man, we got another follower. We got another subscriber. It's the coolest thing in the world because this is where I feel comfortable. I've always been a helper, and I love talking shop. So y'all not gonna get rid of me, but look, drop a comment, hit that like button. If you know somebody else who they can use some help with some of these tips, maybe they have a project that they want to do, send them this way. We're gonna get them straight, and we're about to get you straight too. So hey, look, enjoy the video. I've enjoyed my time with you. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna see you in the next one.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo. Smile so much to hide my sorrows. Faith is shaky and vibrato.